hockey. Yeah.
My favorite. It's Judd's Hockey Show.
Oh, it is Judd's Hockey Show. It is the Wednesday edition, which means it's Judd. It's Jessi Pierce. NHL.com covers the Wild. Bar Down Beauties. If you're not watching the Bar Down Beauties, what are you doing? It's part of the Score North family now. Absolutely outstanding show. AJ Fredrickson. It's a different Wednesday, but it's the same, you guys, because the skid continues. The Wild goes down 4-3 last night in overtime to the Jets in a game that they were down 2-0. They actually came back and took a 3-2 third period lead. They blew that. And so the Jets win. So we are now 3 games in, halfway through a 6-game homestand, coming off a bad road trip. And the Wild has dropped all 3 games. They lost to Utah. They lost to the Sharks in overtime. They lost to the Jets in overtime. So yes, they get points, but those are losses. And then it sounds like AJ and Jessi saw it in the post-game locker room after the Utah and San Jose game on Friday and Saturday, which Jessi and I saw last night. So I'm going to start here, okay? Jessi, my question for you is this. We are watching the games, we're seeing that they lose, and then we are being told, hey, we are very close. We played a good game last night. You don't understand. We are very close. We are on the verge of breaking out, and just a few more bounces, and the pucks will start to go in. So we are being sold something that our eyes aren't necessarily seeing, although last night's game was probably one of their best of the season, which is sort of a sad statement. How much are you buying what the Wild, from John Hines on down, how much are you buying what they're trying to sell you, which is nothing to see here, everything is fine, the fire that you see going on in front of you is nothing more than some smoldering that can be put out with just a little glass of water?
You're suggesting we're living that meme of that little cartoon dog in the firehouse, right? That's kind of what it feels like. It's mildly irritating, to say the least. I will admit, just like you said, Judd, I liked the way they played for the most part against the Jets. I thought that was more indicative of who they could be. Now, it's certainly not who we have seen them be at all. Not for 1 minute, for one iota up until last night. So maybe it is a changing of the tides. I obviously need to see more of that more consistently. But it was nice to see them finally go to the net, finally put some pucks on net. That was literally absent in every single game prior to this. Like you were missing that very easy component of hockey. And for whatever reason, they weren't doing that. And you saw that last night. And hey, you saw them get rewarded for it. So I don't necessarily buy the whole, oh, it's bad bounces, it's bad this. Like, you're working your way toward those, which is good. You should be doing that. Like, you're not just, oh, bummer, they're hitting the post all the time. Like, no, you're not. You're not working and earning the opportunities and getting those goals. And they did that last night. So I do think that last night, those words of, oh, it's okay, we're going to finally get there, were a little bit more accurate compared to Utah and San Jose and that bad road trip as well. So another test against the Pittsburgh Penguins, a team that is still playing well, right? So I think that will be also indicative. And then you've got Vancouver and Nashville to close out the homestand. You cannot afford to lose really any more of those games. They need to start this climb back up. So if you want to tell me it's fine, then get me 4 straight dubs. Like, then I'll believe you. Great, fine.
Yeah, it's great to hear that you think you're making progress, but when I look at the standings and when I look at like your game log, I don't see a lot of progress. Like, yes, you are working harder, and yes, the start yesterday was something that I noticed over the past weekend, which is they just decided to wait 5-10 minutes and then, oh yeah, let's play hockey. They started from the jump last night, and granted, they didn't get rewarded for it right away. 2 goals against that. I feel like at the time they were controlling the flow. But then, like Jessi said, they get the bounces because they're doing the right things. And yeah, you can chalk that up to luck. Brock Faber's goal is probably pretty damn lucky, but they were doing a lot of the right things leading up to that. But still, obviously, doing just some of the right things isn't enough because they're still losing games. You go to overtime. You win the. Can we really quick? Does it annoy anybody else that for some reason they seem to have like 100% face-off percentage on the opening face-off of overtime, but can't seem to win a major face-off at any other point in any other game of any other situation? It's annoying to me because they get it. And granted, they didn't hold the possession for super long last night, but it seems to be the case every single time. They just win that face-off like it's nobody else's business. Like we do this all the time. And then they hold the puck and don't do anything with it and then lose. But I mean, yeah,
they love 3-on-3 hockey. That's all.
Yeah,
that's all that says. They just
but
love
they,
3-on-3.
but it's not. But they approach it all wrong. Like my problem is, and this is the new thing now. But I hate this. Let's get possession and keep it and score and leave. Like that to me. Go back to the old style. Free flow it a little bit more. Like they're turning back. It drives me crazy. But the thing to me was even in the first period, and I do agree. I mean, they did get shots on goal, and that's great. But so I was sitting there with the line chart in the first period last night, and I began to jot down numbers of underperforming players, like from the good to the bad too. So like, yeah, Yakov Trennin's he remains a huge disappointment, but okay. So I jotted down 23. Now, he did have 2 assists last night, but I don't think he's doing nearly as much as he can do. I jotted down, and I mean, we got to talk about the elephant in the room, ladies and gentlemen. That turnover by Kaprizov again last night in the overtime continued a trend, and it's really bad. Like, I know he had a goal. I know he had 3 assists. He's got 5 points in 3 games, but Kirill, what are we doing here? I jotted down 14, because I do not think Eriksson Ek is anywhere near where he should be. I'm not convinced he's entirely healthy. I jotted down 91, Tarasenko. I jotted down 17, Foligno. I jotted down, although his play, I think, of late again has been better, 38. I mean, I don't even consider, like, Hinostroza, Pitlick, I don't even consider. Trennin. But the point is, like, it was easier to jot down the numbers of guys that are actually playing well. I mean, 12. Matt Boldy comes to play. Like to his credit, because I've criticized him up and down before, I feel like he is there almost every night. And then the indictment of indictments is 90. Marcus Johansson. Like, he deserves to be on the first line, which, by the way, is not, Jessi, good news. It's not like, oh, Marcus Johansson's applying himself. It's an indictment of your entire team when Marcus Johansson is driving offense at times. So, like, even when the play improves, like from the press box, I'm not sure about you guys, but I'm still watching this and thinking, how many guys are going to just continue to underachieve and look lethargic and not play well? It feels like the perfect storm of aging, ineptitude, just every bad thing that you can possibly think of, and I don't know that there's a fix to it.
And therein lies my biggest issue with what we're being sold as a bill of goods from the team, is that they are working hard and the effort's there every night. And again, with the exception of last night, I haven't necessarily seen that. You certainly don't see that for 60 minutes. I mean, you don't see that from puck drop. That has not been the case. So don't sit there and try to tell me that it's sweet when it's actually sour, right? Like, it's not the case, I don't think. I would say, yes, Kirill's is most concerning. You're getting paid your superstar money, but you're making very mediocre, egregious mistakes that, yes, they happen, but it's almost like he's trying to do too much. He's trying to literally will some of this to happen. And maybe it is the chemistry of Matt Zuccarello. Maybe he truly needs Zuki as much as Zuki needs him, and we've underestimated that to an extent, because it looks like he's always trying to make these passes that Zuccarello maybe bails him out of sometimes, and you're not resulting in a turnover. And when it comes to Marcus Johansson, I don't really have much to say there. I still don't. I agree.
No,
it's not good enough. Like, this team has been getting by on good enough, and for once, it's not good enough anymore.
He is. If he's going to be one of your best players, you have a bad team. Like
right.
It's that simple.
Yeah.
It's not oh my God, he's playing well, an $800,000 1-year contract. What a deal! It means
contract
you are
year, baby. Contract year.
Yes, but I mean, it just means that you're a bad team. Let's circle back to Kaprizov, though, because I think we got to flesh this out. I think we got to talk about this one, okay? Because that dude's going to make $17 million a season, right, beginning next year, and he's here forever, and he is in what should be the prime of his career. And so here's my problem, and yet, well, the Zuccarello, your statement's frightening, because if that's the case, then I want my money back. But what annoys me, or what gets me, is 2 things. So the overtime pass was absolutely crazy. Like, that was I don't know what he was like. You can say at times he's trying to force things, but that to me was just an irresponsible, like, you do not turn over the puck like that on purpose in OT unless you want to lose. But the other thing is, have you guys noticed, and I think it also happened in the games on Friday and Saturday, so it's not new. It's not the turnovers. Like it's not like he's trying to force things offensively. It's the turnovers in his own zone, and what I would say is the amount of battles he's losing the puck on. So it's not just like bad pass, bad pass, bad pass. There have been those. The second goal against the Sharks was an egregious pass by him, but Age, I feel like I watch him too, and I think in the stat sheet, this is how flawed the stats are. I think he was assessed one turnover last night. Okay, so let's get real. It was more than one, but he also is losing puck battles, and that's this dude is strong as hell. I mean, no one's ever questioned his effort. No one's ever questioned his strength. So that's what gets me is like this is a huge, huge thing in retaining possession of the puck, just like a faceoff is. And that's what occurred to me in watching him live last night is how are you losing the puck so much and then at times compounding it by making a dumb pass? And again, I'll go back to the most important thing I think is in the defensive zone, where if you turn over the puck, it's a problem.
The defensive zone stuff, and that's even going back to the game against the Sharks from the weekend. The way he plays the game, I think makes it look like he's going at like 70, 80%, when in reality, like he's thinking, and so it's probably still 100. But when he makes a mistake like that, I'm like, it doesn't look like you're trying hard enough. On the Misa goal, bad clearance, lazy clearance, gets picked off. That looks low effort to me. The Eklund goal where he turns it over along the wall, like your point is losing a puck battle, kind of just also a no look chip to the middle, like dangerous area. Last night, a lot of the same. And so I don't want to say that he's not trying as hard in the defensive zone, because I think that's just how he plays the game. Like it looks like he isn't playing as hard. But to your point too, he is 28. This is not a 21-year-old, like very green player who we can, chalk. It's just young guy mistakes. Like he's going to iron these out. You are playing on a $9 million contract set to be $17 million next year. That's not the type of play that I think a guy like that should be making. I need to see a little bit more. I need to see maybe resort to just the fundamental stuff instead of the no look backhand, no look pass, 360 with a twist that I know you can make, Kirill. Let's just simplify that to turn, face your receiver, hit him tape to tape. That's okay. That is okay. Save the highlight reel stuff for when you get in the offensive zone. When we're in the defensive end, let's limit the opportunities for the other team by simplifying our game. And maybe it's something to do with the Wild's breakout, and maybe some of these turnovers are coming off just broken plays on how they try to exit the zone, or maybe it's just good anticipation by the defense at that time. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but it has to stop, because you can't have your superstar continuously put your game in jeopardy. The last two games, I chalked it up to the biggest detriment was their start. But when your superstar continues to turn the puck over and like put you behind the eight ball, that doesn't help either. It's one goal swing at times is what makes a lot of these games. And so stuff like that just cannot keep happening. I don't know. It's just not going to demote him though, is the thing. Like, I don't know.
No.
Wow.
I'm
just saying you're not going to demote him. He can
nor should you
on the ice. And
he just needs to, Jessi. He just needs to clean it up. Like I don't want to demote him. I mean, I don't. This is not me saying that he's not trying. He's just making some dumb plays, and I'm not used to that. And I just think it's an underrated thing. Like, you can get points, but if you're giving up the puck, you're also costing your team points.
It's uncharacteristic, which is a good thing, right? Like it's the reason, you're right, Judd, we're talking about it is because we're seeing it, and it's like, what is going on here? Should we be concerned? Is this a problem? I am curious to see. John Hines told us last night that he intends to have a sit down with Kirill to discuss just this, what's going on, why are we making some of these decisions, because it's poor decision making. I think at the end of the day, that's what it is. It's not that he's incapable of completing those plays or he's incapable of winning those battles along the wall. It's just a poor decision making on his part while he's trying to be competitive. So I'd love to be a fly on the wall, because I hope Hines, it's not necessarily come to a point where he needs to tear into Kirill. And Kirill, of course, I'm sure is just as pissed off about the way that he's performed as anybody else. But I'm just curious to see how that conversation goes and how you rectify it. And the only way to rectify it is stop doing it. Like, just do better in the next game,
Well,
right? Like, it seems simple. Like, just quit. Sometimes I think they're thinking too much, right? Like, I think from top to bottom, Kirill to Faber to Gus, it's the same as gripping your stick too tight, right? Like, you are trying so hard to get out of this right now that you need to go back to the simplifying of the game. Pucks on net, pucks deep, win the battles along the boards, win the faceoffs. I mean, I could go out and do this, frankly.
I think some of the issue too is like they're thinking 2 zones ahead. They're in their own defensive zone, but they know as much as they want to say they don't hear us and they're not concerned with it, the 5-on-5 production and all that stuff. They're probably thinking we need to score more goals. We have to score more goals. So he's thinking, okay, we have the puck now. What are we going to do in the offensive zone to score? Oh shoot, I just gave it to the wrong jersey. They're not focusing by what Jessi's saying. They're just gripping the stick. They're almost rushing their play out of their zone when maybe they just need to slow it down a little bit. I don't know.
Well, I think the conversation privately with Kaprizov, if Hines is going to indeed do that, I think it's this. Don't trust your teammates as much. They ain't that good. like you need to do more. Like you need to
because you need Zuccarello back.
Well, but if you need to get the puck out of the zone, like clearly. So here's my guess, being a football guy too. Okay. I'm guessing the 3-on-3 blind pass was assuming somebody was there. Like last night, I don't know the Kaprizov. Like it looked terrible. It looked egregious. What it looked like was a quarterback who threw to a spot where the receiver was supposed to be, and he wasn't, and so it gets picked off, and you're like, the quarterback's an idiot. What a moron, right? I'm guessing somebody was supposed to be there. But this, again, I went through a list. Like, this list is long of guys who are underachieving and some who might be hurt and some who, frankly, might just be old now. So my point is, I think if you got to tell Kirill, dude, let's publicly say it's a team sport because that's what we love to talk about. But privately, you've got to carry this a little bit more. Like you've got to do your thing. You've got to do your Kirill things. And if it fizzles out, at least if you've got the puck in the offensive zone and you turn over the puck, it's frustrating and it can be bad. But right now, this whole thing of trusting your teammates, it's not working. And Jessi, you're right. I mean, Zuccarello was sort of the antidote for him. Now, when Zuccarello comes back, when he comes back, we don't know exactly. He's 38. That might not work too. But I just think Kirill, I sense at times there's a trust there that his teammates are doing the right thing and they're not, and then he's getting burned by it. I would say, privately, I would tell him, hey, look, dude, we're going to say it's a team sport where, it's a locker room full of guys but quite frankly, your teammates ain't that good.
Yeah. And I would like to make it very clear, I am not on the train of, this team needs Zuccarello back so bad because he's the difference maker.
Right.
That's sad to me. I've said that publicly before on Bar Down. Like, that's very indicative of just how poor your depth is. I mean, I think Zuccarello is a top 6 forward, sure, but he's not going to be all of a sudden, he's back and we're going to win all of these games and now the promised land, sunshine and rainbows. Like, that's sad. So I don't love that, just to be clear.
He's going to be like the cat that somebody keeps around until they're like 21 and the cat just like can't move or can't walk, but he helps with that top 6 production. You got to keep him around. You can't put him down yet.
Can't do it.
That's not entirely wrong. All right, so we're talking about hockey right now on JHS, but let's talk some football because Purple Daily is going to be making a stop for a watch party on Sunday for Minnesota against Detroit. I can't say the team names, can't do that. But I can say that there is going to be a National Football League game on Sunday involving the home team, and that's right, Purple Daily is going to be there. Mystic Lake is where we're going to be. If you are watching this right now, you can see we're going to start at 11:30. We're going to go till 5. That means that we're going to have a watch party, watch the game, and then afterwards we're going to do event line and then stick around and talk some football with you folks. It's going to be at Mystic Lake's Hop House, where the game is always on. Specials are always flowing. In fact, enjoy your favorite dining and drinks while not missing the action. So make sure that you check us out there. And then after the game, how about this? Relax and recharge in one of their luxurious hotel suites. Perfect for turning a great game day into an unforgettable getaway. And also don't miss out on your chance to win exclusive Vikings merchandise and experiences only at Mystic Lake. Visit mysticlake.com, mysticlake.com. Join us on Sunday. Again, Minnesota versus Detroit. Watch party starting at noon. We will see you there. All right. So a year ago, if you guys recall, this team, through 9 games, was 8-1-2. They had 18 points. And now you might say, well, it's early. But you know what? That saved their butts because they slumped without Kaprizov second half of the season. If you recall, they barely made the playoffs, and they did so based on that start. They have exactly half that amount of points right now. So, Jessi, what is your feeling if this team can get it turned around about the playoff chances, given the fact that we know beyond a shadow of a doubt that what got them into the playoffs a year ago was that great start, and this start is essentially feels like the polar opposite.
Yeah, no, they're not going to make the playoffs. It's going to be very difficult even at this juncture for them to turn it around and do that because, as we know, the Central Division is incredibly good. Plus, you have the Utah Mammoth now in the mix, who have already asserted themselves, much like the Minnesota Wild did last year, atop of the conference, and they look like the real deal too. I mean, good on them. They've got some speed. They're fun to watch from a hockey fan perspective. But no, I think they put themselves in a very, very dangerous situation. Now, obviously, everybody knows American Thanksgiving is when you kind of draw that line of where you're sitting at the playoffs. I just think it's going to be really, really tough. And I think the biggest difference maker for me, beyond just the lack of players over exceeding expectation or even meeting expectation, and beyond the leaky defense and the lack of offense being generated, to me, and I'm not criticizing this position just yet, but I mentioned to Judd and AJ both over the course of the past few games, goaltending I need to kind of look at a little bit too. I think goaltending has been getting a pass. I think last year you saw Philip Gustafsson steal games, and so far he has not done that, and he's going to have to at this point with the offense not putting it together. I need just a little bit more out of Gus. I need to see him making those incredible saves and keeping the teams in it. Not necessarily, again, that he or Jesper have been bad. They've been fine, but that's not good enough right now. Again, that's my theme, if you can't tell, for the week. I need a game stolen from a goalie before I start going back down my per usual goaltender criticism path.
They entered, just for context off of what you're saying, and it's not just a goaltender thing, but the Wild's goals against going into last night was third from the last in the entire league. So You are not wrong. And again, it's sort of indictment that we're not talking about that because everything else is so bad. So that is a very valid point. Age, your thoughts on this team's chances? And my God, we're sitting here and it's not even November 1st yet.
It's real. It's tough. It's tough for me to find a slot for them to go in. Top 3 in the Central, that's just simply not going to happen. Colorado's too good. Winnipeg, I think, despite being competitive with them last night, is too good. And then you either have the Dallas Stars, who I think will probably rise to the top 3, or Utah. If they keep this up, they're going to look like a wagon at some point, and I think they're probably merging into. They've got like 3 of the. They're a wag right now. That whether they can get the on is one thing. In the wild card stuff, one of those teams that I just mentioned is going to have to be there. So like whether it's Utah, whether it's Dallas, there's really one spot. But right now you have Vegas, Seattle, Los Angeles for the Pacific stuff. So like who's bumped out? The Oilers. You think the Oilers aren't going to make the playoffs? Like it's tough for them to wiggle in anywhere here unless a team really falls off from what we see. And granted, it is early, but it's also not early enough to say this team looks bad. Like this is a tough start for them. So it's going to be really hard to find some of these extra points that they're probably going to need come early springtime. And it's like, wow, it's a do or die game here with 4 games to go against the Sharks or whatever. And I'm not sure that they're going to be able to pull out 2 points. And even if they do get hot, like, are we sure they're going to stay healthy? It seems like every game somebody's dropping, loses a tooth. They go down the tunnel. They come back. Okay, they're fine. Just kidding. Somebody got blocked a shot. Now they're going to go back down the tunnel. They don't return. Right. It's the hot start last year definitely was a major difference maker, and not having that this year, I think, is really going to come back to bite them.
They're just not, at the end of the day, too, like if they do get hot, and let's say they make the playoffs, they get in there at the very end, there's just nothing here to sink your teeth into at this point, though. Like it's not like you're saying, okay, you know what? You know what's going to happen? Marcus Foligno's going to take off. He has no points, but he's going to take off. No, he's not. Tarasenko, who, again, you put a lot of stock in Tarasenko, 11 goals last year, but look what he did with the Blues back in the day. Okay, yeah, that's great. I watch him play. He's still got some skills. You can see his brain is good. His mind works. Like, you can see him working. You can see him doing the things that made him a really effective goal scorer. But he's a tick too late now. Why? Because he's an old man. He's like me. He's got one goal. You know, he has one goal on that road trip, and that's it. So, Jessi, I guess my question, and you know, we haven't talked about it a lot, but the defense, same thing. Middleton, to me, has gone backwards. He's fine, but he's not, you know, I think, Jessi, you brought this up last week or 2 weeks ago, which was, you know, he exceeded expectations. But now, and by backwards, I mean, he's probably, you know, on his worst day, a last pairing guy. He's not terrible. He's not unplayable. You know, Brodin and Faber played well last night, but Brodin's old and beat up. You know, they still can. John Hines still has Bouillon and Jurček together. I don't know what he's thinking. Like, that's literally like putting gasoline on a fire defensively. You know, you talk about irresponsible. How can you put those two together? So I just don't see at the end of the day here, unless they make a major change that shakes this team up and brings in some talent, I just don't see enough here. And it's sort of the perfect storm of it's all gone wrong. But now that you look at the puzzle, are you really shocked? Because, like, no. I was really wrong about this team, but now am I really shocked? Am I really like Marcus Foligno? I thought 25 goals. And Tarasenko, I bitched about when they acquired him. So I'm like kicking myself for not being more pessimistic entering the season, because now that I see the product, I'm like, yeah, I guess this was always possible. Aging players, you know, Eriksson Ek, I don't know. I mean, he does not look like himself. He still plays a ton, but just a lot of things where I'm like, you know, should have thought about this more, Judley. Sports dad, you should have thought about this more.
They keep moving the goalposts, right? Like, again, like, the reason you thought that is because they raised the bar last year. Like, well, they're returning the same roster, and they did really well to start the year.
Great point.
And then, it was just injuries. So that's why they didn't do so. I mean, the narrative we built probably in our own heads to support that, okay, you know what, we're going to be positive, we're going to get behind this team, is based on what they did last year. So it's their own fault. Now they're going to make us not be nice to them because they are who we thought they are, right? Like, it's frustrating because the only way to fix this team is to make trades. It's not on the roster. It's very evident that you are not going to fix this team by just even having a Marcus Foligno step up. It's beyond that. The problems are not going to be found within the depths of this team. They're going to be found elsewhere outside. But even then, I don't know that you can trade your way out of this at this point, because you don't have the capital, you don't have the resources to do so. So it's kind of frustrating in that component. Not to mention, goodness knows, I'm going to say it, Judd, just to really stir the pot, get your heart boiled up this morning. God knows what happens after the Olympics and what players come back hurt and what players don't come back hurt. So it's it feels so soon to throw in the towel on a season. It feels silly to do that, but it's getting dangerously close to that point, because you look at the team and it's not even meh. It's just kind of a little below meh.
Yeah. It's real bad right now.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. It is unfortunate, but you're not going to get me going, because you know what? On the Olympic note, the only thing that I don't want is a guy that you're going to trade to get hurt. So, like, at this point in time, I mean, if Eriksson Ek goes to the Olympics and gets hurt, okay, that's unfortunate, but you're not going to trade him. And second of all, you're probably not going to be in a playoff spot. Like what upsets me is if you're going to make a playoff run. And again, Jessi, you put it perfectly. A year ago, I went in saying this team is not that good. They're going to miss the playoffs for a second consecutive. You're exactly right. They get off to this great start. Krill gets hurt. You can blame it on that. That's why I fell for it. I've been gaslit.
Gotcha.
I got gaslit. It's like you're exactly right. I just realized what my problem is, and I feel so dumb now, because I did look at this roster and thought, okay, they're fine. And now I'm looking at the line chart, and I'm like, what were you thinking? Why were you thinking this line chart was going to carry you? So, yeah, that is a perfect explanation of the rope-a-dope that is right now my hockey life, AJ.
It feels like the first time I found out magicians weren't actually doing magic. And I was like, oh my, no, he's making a card go through his hand. This guy's amazing. And then it's like, no, it's just folded up. And then I'm like, I'm looking at this phony liar. Like, you guys told me you were going to be good. You made me believe that I was going to watch a good hockey team. And now you're just like, okay, I know I've seen all the tricks before. I know what you're doing, and all of your secrets are exposed, and you're just actually pretty bad, unfortunately.
Mean man.
And you smell.
Yep, and you're not good, and you need to not turn over the puck 97. So I am, guys, right now. I just opened up the SeatGeek app on my phone, and I am looking at tickets to, the Gopher game on Saturday in football against Michigan State. Canucks and Wild. How about that? The Canucks are coming to town. All types of sporting events, all types of concerts, and all of this can be found at SeatGeek, which is the #1 rated ticketing app that you can find. Each ticket is actually rated on a scale of 1 to 10, so you know that you're getting a good deal. Plus, every ticket is backed by their buyer guarantee. Use the code JUD10 for 10% off your next set of tickets at SeatGeek. That's 10% off any tickets with the promo code JUD, Judd 10, and save on that. But if you are looking to go to a game or a concert, you want to start at SeatGeek. All right, so let's wrap it up with this. At what point in time, and I know that we are now, 11 games in, but at what point in time do you get Ogren up here, assuming he's not traded, and beyond that, Yurov in a top 6 role? Because, like, he's got some jam to his game, and I know he's going to make mistakes, but I've got to be honest, if this continues, who cares? Because he can play. Like, he definitely can play. At what point in time do you get Zeev back on the first power play? Because Jared Spurgeon knows how to run it, but he's not the future, and 2, I don't know, it doesn't really excite me much. Like, when does John Hines get the word from upstairs that you need to start to play the youngsters? Because if there's anything that might give them a little bit of a jolt, it would be accepting their mistakes. I can accept their mistakes more than I can accept dumb passes by Kirill Kaprizov. I expect more from him.
Can I just say I feel a little vindicated that Zeev has been pulled off the power play. I'm just saying, I know you guys hate it, but it feels kind of nice a little bit. I was right.
Just
I
like
told you guys it was a problem.
It's just like your Rossi thing. I've told you get things right.
It's incredible. Feels
I've
good.
told you get things right. I don't question you too much.
Well, too much. You gotta keep me honest.
Well, yeah.
My concern with Ogren is they kind of screwed the pooch on it. I don't know that you'll see him back up here. I think they have put themselves in that corner where it's like, nope, we do not think he's NHL unless you need to showcase him, unless you're going to trade him. And I hate it. For the record, I hate it. I wanted Liam Ogren to be a top 6 forward here. I wanted to see Liam Ogren get the opportunities, get the minutes that Marcus Johansson continues to be given again. And yes, now JoJo, 4 goals in 3 games. That's great. I love it. I think Liam Ogren could have had 6 goals in 3 games had you put him in those positions too. It bums me out. It really does. But also I just get this nagging sense that they're kind of done with it. They are done with even trying anymore, which is a bummer. So I don't know that you see him as much as you could need it. The fact that you're recalling Ben Jones and Tyler Pitlick ahead of him, I just think kind of put the writing on the wall for you. It's hard to ignore. Like, it just seems beyond. Even Hunter Haight, another guy who I really, really would love to see because of his vision and the way he can skate around and the way he moves. I don't agree with it. I don't like it, and that's where I'm at with it. I think they're gonna settle in. This is buckle up, baby. This is the team that we're getting for the season.
Yeah, really. They're not going to go to what we want to see until they officially say, like, this season is like we're not doing much. It's still too early to probably say, like, yeah, for at least in the locker room, or like for them to even think about, yeah, we're not a playoff team. We might as well think about the future. So you're not going to see Liam Ogren in a top 6 position anytime soon. That being said, if maybe potentially, and I'll just throw this out there and blah blah blah. Maybe if stuff continues, a coaching change, somebody else comes in that's like very apt to give some young guys a chance. That might be the only situation. And even then, we don't know how much Bill Guerin would say we want X, Y, and Z playing rather than ABC. So
everything, in my opinion, should be on the table this morning. Like, everything.
Oh, yeah.
Including young players playing to give this team a jolt. Okay, let's work this backwards. If there is, when we do the show next week, if there has been a trade, and I know that all these guys have protection of some sort, but anyway, when we do, and Jess, we talked about this in a roundabout way in the press box last night. If there is a trade by the next time that the three of us are together doing the show, who is gone?
On the roster now, not including like an Ogren.
Yeah, right. Yeah, not including an Ogren. We remove somebody who's considered a staple in the locker room just for some shock factor and because you don't think the player's that great.
Ryan Hartman. I don't say that because I don't think he's not good. I mean, I like having Ryan Hartman on your team, but so would a lot of other teams. I think what I told you, Judd, he's the knockoff Brad Marchand, right? Like he's just kind of the little bit similar in some tendencies, the way he gets people going, the way he eggs them on. And credit to him, he has controlled those temper flare-ups. We're not seeing insane penalties like we're used to.
Yep.
And he contributes, right? Like Ryan Hartman in certain instances through parts of different games on this homestand has been the best player on the ice and even on the road trip, right? So he's your most valuable player, I think. He's a movable player, and he's got that tenacity that a lot of teams are looking for. It's a little early for teams to be looking for a player like Ryan Hartman.
Yeah.
But I think if you are trying to make a statement of, hey, we're going to get better by this move, it's that.
Hey, you got any names?
He's got a 15-team no-trade clause, so him being moved, and granted, he's to his credit, he's played some pretty good hockey here. Considering this team, the past week or so, like he's been one of the better players. He's been one of the more
late. He's been better. He got off to he scored 2 goals against the Blues. Then he sort of disappeared for a while. Then he came back. He's very Ryan Hartman.
Yeah, yes. Nice little resurgence. Like you're not going to trade Matt Boldy. He is one of the guys that has a lot of, I think, would garner a lot of value, but has zero trade protection. Like it's weird that he doesn't have a no trade clause out of all these people. I think they'd move on from Rossi, but for the shock factor, I'll say Joel Eriksson Ek. He's got a modified no trade. I think it's a 10-team.
I like where your head's at. You're shaking it up.
I don't. It's one, to shake it up, but two, like he's a center, so that brings value altogether. But also, Judd came to the conclusion on a show the other day, which was like, if on a playoff team, that's a really good third line center. Like, yes. I think I still like him as a second line center on the Wild, but the Wild, if they don't have scoring wingers to pair with a second line center, who really cares? You're just kind of having him go out there and
he's also not playing that well.
Okay, so here's the question that we have to ask her: these moves is this them giving up, or are they trying to improve the team in return?
Trying to
for
improve
the value,
jolt the team. So you're getting back immediate help.
Okay, because I was gonna say like you already are hurting so badly when it comes to Joel Eriksson. Like for me, it's like I like having a Ryan Hartman on the team, but he's replaceable. And Joel Eriksson, unfortunately, it feels isn't replaceable for the Wild because the value for Ek to get a direct return.
I hear you.
Is right?
The problem here is like the people that they can actually move.
Yeah.
Nobody is that desirable to where you'd get immediate help. Like you're turning 3 cents into 4 cents at best, and that's still not going to help you out too much.
Right.
The only way you get meaningful stuff back is like you're punting on the season and you're making moves in a set, but it's way too early for them to think about doing that.
I mean, it's like getting rid of your Coyle Zucker Gramlin situation, right, where you're just cleaning house and you don't really care. Like I don't think they've hit that point.
No,
yet, but
that's a deadline thing too, right?
Yeah.
That's more of a deadline thing. I'm just thinking jolts.
Is it your check?
Honestly, yes. Done. I'm over that one.
Are they maybe just done with the David Yurchek experiment and we're gonna move him?
Yeah, but first of all, you're not going to get a lot back for him, and second of all, that now becomes a terrible trade.
Absolutely,
Like that's an
swallow it though. Take the accountability. Like
I guess, but what were you doing then?
And I don't know why we're not seeing Damon Hunt slot in at some point here anyway. Like he's just chilling in the press box. Like what are we doing? What are we doing?
Let me throw this one into the mix since you guys went through centers 2 and 3, and because I don't think he's got trade protection, and we've talked about him a ton. I think it's Marco Rossi. I think enough teams would see an upside there. He's got a contract. He does not have trade protection, right? Age?
No.
He signed that contract?
Does not.
Okay. because again, I'm going for shock factor. Now, you would be getting a player back. Basically, what you would be doing is trading with another team to take their sort of scuffling player who you like. Like this is how these trades work. But Rossi would be my candidate. One, they still don't like him that much. Two, I don't know. I mean, he's probably a 2. Unfortunately, with the way they're playing right now, you don't have a center, a number 1 center. You just don't. And so Rossi's probably right now a 2. The way X playing, I think he's a 3 right now. I think something's still up with him. He just doesn't look the same to me consistently. But yeah, and look, I don't think that personally, I probably wouldn't bother at this point because unless you're going to make a trade that's going to make you better, like right away, I just don't know with this whole team. But Jessi, your point is right. I mean, they're not going to give up yet. And from the top, I mean, the owner never gives up. Like he's going to be like, I want my building filled in April. It's like, well, that might not happen. I want my building filled in April, right? So I guess I'm talking from a standpoint of what I think they might do as opposed to what I think I would do probably. And what I would do is put my head in my hands and say, let's play some of the kids. This is we got to do something to look towards the future.
Yeah.
Is this where the Buffalo conversation comes back in and you're going to do a Rossi plus, however much is needed?
Well, but Buffalo's not going to. Here's the problem, though. You're not dealing from a position of strength right now. I mean, Buffalo, I think, just won like 4 consecutive games or something. So they're not going to entertain your hey, you suck and we don't. They're going to be like, no, you suck too, and you're going to be like, oh, okay, yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah, and that's the problem for them right now, which is it's just too early for teams to want to make these big moves, even though for the Wild they need to in order to like fix their problems, where other teams may be thinking, oh, we can just scuffle around, we're going to get guys back, we can shift things up and it'll work. And then by the time that teams want to trade, it's way too far down the road for the Wild to salvage anything of the season.
Right, so there's no sense in that trade. Yeah,
well, I don't know. You could look at the other trash teams. You could look at the Rangers or Calgary or other terrible San Jose.
But I mean, do you want to go get? So Artemi Panarin would definitely help you out. No. But do you want to trade? Yeah, we talked about this last week. So I think you need to. I also think I don't know how many games you're going to pick. 20, 30, I don't know. But like at some point in time too, you can rave about his professional approach. But like the Tarasenko thing. Speaking of things that have to be written off, right? Is like, okay, that didn't work. Like again, I watch Tarasenko and I see the mind working. It's just like my mind. It's very sharp.
Like you got fleeced on anything for that one, right? Like that.
No, but but you sort of did because you put faith in that the acquisition would work for you. Nah. Like you didn't give up a lot, but he's still your second liner, and you're still saying we think that we can rehabilitate him. So yes, you did not give up. You did not get fleeced. Jerzak, you got fleeced on. Tarasenko, you didn't get fleeced on, but you're also getting really almost next to nothing.
Yeah.
So
I'd like to trade my fan rights from all Minnesota sports. That's up for option if anybody would like to buy them from me. I would be willing to do that, I think.
So where are you going?
I don't know.
Chicago?
No.
The Blackhawks might be back.
No.
After 16 years away, the Blackhawks might be back, or it just feels like that.
I don't know. I'm open for discussion.
Go to Los Angeles?
Trade. Yeah, it's warm
Dallas?
there.
You're going
Dallas.
to Texas, aren't you?
Dallas is the odds-on favorite.
A little shutout there, huh?
You're going to Dallas, aren't you? You're going to become a Rangers, although the Cowboys are tough to stomach. Their defense is so bad.
Yeah.
Atlanta, get on the bandwagon early.
Just hop on that. They know those uniforms are going to be sick, so that could be a good one. I always like Vancouver. Vancouver seems like a nice area.
Oh, you're going to? Oh, it's gorgeous. The Pacific Northwest. Oh, yeah.
Because then if my sports teams fail me, then at least I have the mountains,
Oh, yeah, and it's very European. It's very nice. What?
No, nothing.
Did you say jump off a mountain?
Is that what you were implying?
No, I was.
No, she's saying you could go
just like
she's not gonna. It's not gonna end at all. It's not that bad. Well, it is that bad sports-wise, but she's not gonna end at all. My God, she has children.
I just thought that was very children. Low. They got really dark. No, okay, that makes sense.
Think about the children. All right, you guys. Well, good conversation. We'll continue to do these shows if you love hockey as much as we do. I hope you continue to enjoy them. Unfortunately, this team, there's not a lot of good going on. And That might change at some point in time. They're convinced it's changing by the day. I'm not so sure. She's Jessi, does a great job. Again, if you are not listening to the Bar Down Beauties podcast, make that part of your rotation as well. Her and Kirsten do great work and are very honest in their assessments of this team. He's AJ. I'm Judd. We'll see you later.